Hi, my name is Nick Lyons and I'm a plumbing engineer with AECOM. Our office is located in downtown Roanoke and we were responsible for the design of the rainwater harvesting system used for the new Fralin Biomedical Research Expansion building. Today I'd like to take you into some of the details of how that was done. The goal for this building is LEED Silver, and to help get there, rainwater harvesting became an integral part of the design. Using rainwater also reduces the amount of stormwater that would flow into our local storm system, as well as reduces the use of utility-provided water. The first step in figuring out how much water you can save is to first figure out how much water you use. Using LEED guidelines, we must first show that we can reduce the building water consumption by 20%. To calculate this, we gathered the baseline fixture flows as shown here in Table 1. It's important to note that to reduce water consumption, we must install fixtures that use less water than these baseline flows. As an example, for a toilet, we selected a fixture flow rate of 1.28 gallons per flush, and this is less than the baseline shown here of 1.6. Next, we established an estimate of how many occupants would be in the building for a day. We then broke down this number of people into employee, visitor, and student classifications. With this breakdown of people known, you can then establish how many times a person would use a fixture in a day using Table 8 shown here. With the fixtures, occupants, and uses known, you can then calculate the amount of water used for the baseline as well as our new low-flow fixture selections. For the case of this building, the baseline indicated a little over 1 million gallons of water use per year, but with our selected low-flow fixtures, our design used around 693,000 gallons per year. This comes out to a water savings of around 31.7%, which exceeds the minimum requirement of LEED of 20%. So if you are trying to reduce water consumption within your own home, changing the fixtures to a lower flow rate is an excellent way to start. Also keep in mind that we have not used any rainwater for this building yet. Now that we understand what we are saving from the use of low-flow fixtures, we must try to maximize the amount of water savings to increase the number of LEED credits we can earn. To maximize the LEED credits, we need to reduce water consumption by more than 50%. The use of rainwater is an excellent option for decreasing utility-provided water use. In order to do this, we looked at the amount of rain that could fall in a month for Roanoke, as shown in the chart on the left. We then established the surface area of a portion of the main roof that would allow us to fill up the tank completely while also not to provide too much water that could eventually become stagnant. In this case, we used about 13,200 square foot of the roof area and a tank of 25,000 gallons. This allows us to collect around 300,000 gallons and ultimately results in a water savings of around 60%. Now that the tank size is known, we had to decide if we could use an underground or an above ground tank. However, as you can see in this construction photo, the availability of space around the building is limited due to pedestrian walkways and ramps. Through collaboration with Skanska and our own internal AECOM engineers and architects, we decided to integrate the water tank into the building structure. Due to the site constraints, we came up with an idea to integrate the water tank into what was going to be an elevated patio. As you can see on the left, we designed a way to hold 25,000 gallons of rainwater under what would be the patio. Our rainwater comes into the top of the diagram through a first flush filter. This gets rid of any major debris and is then stored in the concrete tank. The flow coming into the tank could have a peak flow of around 500 gallons per minute. And to put this into perspective, that flow could fill an average backyard swimming pool in about 20 minutes. I've also provided some construction photos on the right, showing how the tank was reinforced, the walls poured, and the pipes inserted. The patio would then receive an elevated paver system that would hide the top of the tank, shown in the bottom right photo. Here is a diagram showing the system as a whole. An overflow is also provided in the event the tank fills past its rated capacity. After the water enters the tank, it would then be pumped through a filtration skid that is located inside the building. The filtration skid would consist of filters and UV disinfection lights. This filtered water is then stored in what is known as a day tank before being pumped out to all the building's toilets and urinals. While rainwater can be used for many purposes, toilet and urinal flushing is one of the most common uses within a building. This concludes the quick rundown of the rainwater system used, and if you're trying to reduce your own water consumption, you can see how the use of low flow fixtures and perhaps even rainwater can dramatically reduce your water bill.